Welcome to Playwrights Roundtable, a half-hour showcase featuring original plays with our own local artists. And today, we need some therapy. So I have with me Michael, Garvey, and Nicole, Carson, who are going to tell me a little bit about their play after we watch it. So sit back and relax and enjoy therapy.
Room, and here we do our initial eval of new patients. We assess their condition, and based on the doctor's script, we determine a course of treatment.
Yes, I know. I volunteered in another clinic a while back.
Good, so you know the ground rules. Now, I know you need these volunteer hours to graduate, and we'll let you observe most of what we do here, but your actual job will not be so glamorous. You'll be folding towels, washing tables, lots of other little things.
Well, I get to work with the patients again. The last clinic I was at let me work with the patients, and I was kind of hoping to again.
No, not at this clinic. You're not licensed, so you can't do anything that could be construed as treatment. I don't want any trouble with the state board. Just observe. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. I was actually hoping to get to work with the patients again.
Well, you got to earn your degree first. You said you volunteered somewhere else. Where?
Oh, it wasn't around here. I started PT school in Georgia, but then I got sidetracked. Some personal stuff.
Family?
Yeah. I almost had to start all over again. But I've got a lot more experience than your other volunteers. The last clinic I was at let me work with the patients a lot.
Well, the rules are different here in Florida. Listen, I've got a new eval in a few minutes. I've got some paperwork to do first. Will you wait here for me?
Okay.
Hi there.
Oh, hi.
The woman at reception told me to come in.
Of course, I'm Carolyn.
Hi, Mitch Parker. I think this is for you.
Oh, yeah, of course. Says here you sprained your right knee. How'd it happen?
On the basketball court. I was trying to mix in some cross-training with my lifting. I really hadn't played ball since college, so I knew I wasn't in game shape, but I thought I could keep up. Back in school, I had this killer crossover move from the top left corner of the key. I set my guy up perfectly for it. And when I cut, my knee didn't come with me and it twisted. Boom. Down I went. Doc said it was a bad sprain, so he sent me here. This kind of thing's never happened to me before, but I really should have known better. Just couldn't help myself, you know?
Yeah, I know how that is. So when did it happen?
About 2 weeks ago.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, somewhat. It hurts when I try to walk on it, but I've rolled enough ankles in my day to know how to deal with pain.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not just saying that because I'm a guy and you're a girl. It's just that this time the doc was worried it was a little worse than rolling an ankle.
Yeah. So, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no pain at all and 10 being the most intense pain you could possibly imagine, how would you rate the pain that you're in right now?
About a 2.
Oh, that's not too bad. You're going to get some exercises here to regain your range of motion and strength.
Great. So, what are they?
Excuse me?
The exercises, what are they?
They're pretty basic. The first set is to check your range of motion and set your pain levels. Okay, now push against my hand. Keep going. Keep going. Why did you stop?
It hurt?
Oh, it's going to. A little bit. Did it hurt too much?
Nah.
Want to try again? Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Good. That's great, Mitch. That was much better than the first time. Did it hurt too much?
Nah, not too bad.
Let's try another. Stick out your leg. Now pull against my hand. Good. 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 Did that hurt too much?
No pain, no gain.
You should say something when it hurts. I'd actually like to get a look at your patella. Can you pull up your pants leg for me?
afraid it's not going to go up much higher than this.
Well, that won't do. I'd really like to see your whole knee, including the area above the patella. Why don't you put on this and take your pants off underneath?
Okay.
Oh.
Okie dokie.
Well, the swelling's gone down. Does this hurt?
No, not really.
How about when I do this?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, the swelling's gone down, but it looks like you still have some soft tissue damage. Why don't you take a couple steps across the room that way so I can see your gait? Hop up on the table for me, please. I'm going to check the range of flexibility in your knee. Lay down on your stomach. What I want you to do is to try to touch your butt with your right heel. Is that the best you can do?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna take a measurement. 92 degrees. That's okay. Sure you can't do better?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna see if you can. All right. Now, tell me when it hurts. You're guarding. Stop fighting me. You've got to let me help you do this. 100 degrees. That's better. Now a little more. Does it hurt?
It's beginning to.
How much?
I don't know.
On a scale of 0 to 10.
About a 2?
No, it's not that bad, is it? You can handle more than that, can't you?
What?
Oh God, that's good. Oh, that's great, Mitch. Doesn't that feel wonderful? Mr. Parker, Carolyn!
Oh my God!
What have you done? Nothing, Alicia. I was just checking Mr. Parker's range of motion.
What did I tell you about touching the patients?
What?
I'm sorry, Alicia. I was doing so much better. This is so embarrassing. My psychiatrist told me this was a bad idea, but I thought I could handle it.
Your what?
I'm sorry, Alicia. This is just so embarrassing. I was doing so much better. It's just that the pain. I'm sorry, Mr. Parker, but your pain is just so.
What kind of place is this anyway?
Carolyn, would you mind waiting outside for me, please? And don't touch any more patients.
Okay.
Is this all part of the treatment?
The range of motion exercises? Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't mind if I repeated those exercises again in a few minutes, would you? Just to make sure that Carolyn got them right?
Again?
Well, we have to know your pain to know if you're improving. Are you in much pain now?
No, not really. I think I'll recover.
Great. Well, just let us know if it hurts or if you have any questions.
Yeah. Actually, I've got a bit of a question.
Go ahead.
Is she dating anyone?
I think there are at least 2 people in this play that do need some therapy.
Oh, you think?
I think so, based on how it ended. But I'll let you elaborate on that. We're going to take a short intermission, and when we come back, we're going to talk with Mike, the playwright, and Nicole, the director of therapy. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's so good. Come on, baby.
You'll be folding towels, washing tables, lots of other little things.
Well, I get to work with the patients again. The last clinic I was at let me do that a lot, and I was hoping to again.
No, not in this clinic. You're not licensed, so you can't do anything that could be construed as treatment. I don't want any trouble with the state boards. You just observe. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. I was actually hoping to get to work with the patients again.
You've just watched another quick clip from Therapy, and today I have the playwright and the director of Therapy, Michael Garvey, and Nicole Carson. So, Michael, let's start with you. What gave you the idea for Therapy?
There was a sign, literally, Mistress Carolyn's House of Pain. Mistress Carolyn's a real person, although she's not quite this intern. She was an occupational therapist at a rehab clinic that I go to. I tore my knee up about 10 years ago playing basketball, and have been going to this clinic for physical therapy and rehabilitation, and I use it as my gym now. The lovely people at Cora, who also loaned me the props for the performance, thank you very much, Alicia. Yes, there really is an Alicia too. So Carolyn was the occupational therapist, and she helps people restore movement and motion, range of motion in their hands. But one of her patients brought in that sign because they tend to make people stretch a little bit and work their muscles, and it's not necessarily always nice. So I saw that, and that was the inspiration. I said, I gotta write that. That's gotta be fun. So a lot of what Mitch goes through is some of the exercises I learned when I was going through rehabilitation. And so we have a little fun with the intern when the intern comes in, someone who kind of really enjoys the pain part of the physical therapy.
Okay, but you gave Carolyn a little twist. I'm sure that the real Carolyn probably doesn't know that you. Does she know that you made her into a?
Yes, she actually came and saw the first performance several years ago and thought it was really funny. So Carolyn's got a great sense of humor.
Well, that's good.
And, and it's, thankfully so.
Because she's a little twisted in the play.
Yeah, she is. She's got her own thing going on, and whatever it works for her. But I don't know about everybody else. But it's what she enjoys.
Now, Nicole, you've also starred in a lot of different one-act plays with Playwrights Roundtable and directed. This one's no different. You're wearing both hats again. So let's talk about the directing part of it first. This one was kind of fun for you, yeah?
Well, yes, definitely. I had two great actors. Kim and Eric were phenomenal. They came in and they knew just what they needed to do, and they did it. And I basically let them have fun with it. And if they needed me to step in, I did. But they just were fantastic to work with. The script is very funny. It was very, very low maintenance. It was come in, rehearse, have a good time, go home. It was a good process this time.
I thought it was really funny how we didn't really know what she was up to until the very end. It's kind of touchy there when we were producing it. We were looking at it thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know if we can air this. What are some of the reactions you get from the audience members as they're watching it?
A lot of really strange, like you hear some laughs early, but they're not quite sure if they're supposed to yet. It's kind of just a slow build until the moment that he lays down on the table. And then, you get a few laughs when he's kind of tucking the gown behind him and trying to cover it up, because all of us have been there going, okay, this isn't real comfortable here, but all right. But when she gets him on the table and finally starts leaning on him, that's when the audience just goes, oh my God, I finally understand what's going on here. Oh, she's nuts.
So how many times have you done this particular one-act play?
This is the second time it's been done. It was done 2 years ago with Playwrights Roundtable the first time, and Nicole actually played the role of Carolyn last time, so she was intimately familiar with the script and how it was supposed to go. But it's only been the second time that it's been done, but it's been interesting to watch the interpretations from the first time to the second time. With Nicole in the role, Nicole takes it one way. I've seen Kim Luffman before. I like Kim, so Kim took it, kind of downplayed a little bit more than Nicole, was a little more over the top, because that's Nicole. But Kim played a little more down and a slow kind of build into into the final end. It was fun to watch Eric to put a lot more physicality into the role. And the tucking of the gown and playing with it, that was definitely something Eric had done that the original performer, Daniel Ozer, hadn't really brought in, but Daniel had a different set of skills. So it was interesting to me to see two different sets of actors interpret the roles and take it in a new direction each time.
So this is a question for both of you, then elaborating off of that. What's that like when you know you've already done it once and you've had a chance to do it with another group of actors, and then you do it again a second or a third time? What is that like for you to try to remove yourself from how it looked before to give these artists their opportunity to put their fresh spin on it?
Well, I don't have too tough of a time doing that because theater is collaborative. You can have the same play, even in the same theater, with a different set of actors, sometimes even the same actors, just at a different point in their career, and it can be something entirely different. You can even have the same production with, a 6-week run, and you have, all of these performances, and by the beginning of the run to the end of the run, the play has grown and changed. So you should never be too set in in the status quo. You should always be growing as an actor and growing as an artist, and that way, you don't have to say, well, gee, we did it this way last time, we need to do it that way again. Never. There's always room for growth and change.
As for me, this is the first time I've had one of my plays restaged. So it was kind of a new experience, and I almost purposely stayed away for that very reason. They didn't see me into any rehearsals, any discussions beforehand until I showed up for tech rehearsal, the day before it's supposed to go up. So I show up, and we're sitting in the crowd watching it for the first time. So I don't know. I had no influence in how the script turned out, which was somewhat on part of my plan, and somewhat kind of schedules took me other places in other countries. So it was like, okay, we'll sit back and see how they figure it out.
It's probably a unique experience for you too, because you also can maybe fine-tune some of the dialogue on the second time around. After you've seen it the first time, did you think to go back and change any elements in the script?
No, I don't think I made any changes. I thought it was pretty fun and pretty tight the first time. It was kind of a unique play for me to write. Many of my pieces before have been 2 characters, lots of dialogue. This one was one that purposely wanted to put a lot of action, a lot of physicality into it. So the dialogue wasn't really what was supposed to propel the story. What's supposed to propel it is the physical action, the touching and the pushing, and okay, all right, then you start to see that build between them. That was what's supposed to drive this story onward, and of course get all the laughs out of it.
You do this. 100 degrees. That's better. Now a little more. Does it hurt?
It's beginning to.
How much?
I don't know.
On a scale of 0 to 10.
About a 2.
No, it's not that bad, is it? You can handle more than that, can't you? Oh, God, doesn't that feel good, Mitch? Oh, doesn't that feel wonderful? Carolyn!
Oh my God!
What have you done? Nothing, Alicia. I was just checking Mr. Parker's range of motion.
Now, Michael, you were with us in 2004 when we did Playwrights for the very first time, and you had a really cute one called Probably. That's still one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to do as well, and that's an example of where it's dialogue driven. So, but to me as a playwright, you have to kind of stretch and try to do something different. I'm trying to write something now that's somewhat abstract, that it's not a logical dialogue back and forth, and it's a little darker piece. So you kind of keep stretching and trying different things to see what you can come up with.
And you were fairly new to the organization at that time, so how have things gone for you since? Obviously, you're still writing with Playwrights?
Obviously, I'm still writing with Playwrights. Yeah, the organization has been helpful. I've been writing for not only this, but for the local Orlando Fringe Festival, doing some of their All Hallows 10 for the Fringe. I wrote another 10-minute piece for Play in a Day at Playfest back in February, which was a whole event. You get 12 hours and no idea what you get to write, so here go. Okay, at 3 o'clock in the morning I was done. So it's been quite an experience, and I thank the Playwrights Roundtable for at least getting me started and giving me enough of a structure and a background from which to at least launch forward and trying some different things now.
Absolutely. So how is this organization, Playwrights Roundtable, for the both of you, giving you some opportunities that are a little different than working with some of the other local play groups? Not to have any bias towards any other group at all, but this is definitely a unique experience, one-act play that people get a chance to see, and it's real quick energy, real quick dialogue.
Well, that's the short play format is definitely something you don't get to do very often. With Play in a Day, it's similar, and 10 for the Fringe is a short play format, but there isn't a lot of short play format work out there. And then also the new play development that we do is very helpful for new playwrights and for experienced playwrights both, because you get a chance to actually hear your work out loud. and to see how, see what happens to the work when it's put into the hands of actors. And that you get that chance to do that without having the expense of a full production. I think that's very helpful for a lot of playwrights. And for me personally, I'm an actress and a writer, and there aren't many places where I have the chance to get to direct.
To do both.
And directing also, because I don't have a whole lot of experience in directing, but a short play, well, that's easy. It's 10 minutes and it starts, it's 10 minutes and then it's done. If the audience doesn't like it, there's another one right after it, and hopefully the audience will enjoy it. So, I think it's less of a risk for new directors also. Someone who's previously been an actor and they want to, try to direct. It's a safer, way to get into it. Mm-hmm. Now I have the confidence to where I could, possibly put my name out there to maybe assist a director or actually direct a full production.
Mm. Yeah, it's actually been interesting for me to talk to some of my fellow playwrights who find it hard to write in the 10-minute play format because you have to have a beginning and a middle and an end, but very quickly. Mm-hmm. You don't get a lot of time to develop the characters, you don't get a lot of time for exposition to explain the story of everything that's going on. You have to get in, get out, and boom, get through it.
That seems to me like it would be easier in a way, because you can just get your idea out and then 10 minutes you're done. You don't have to worry about all these different acts. Mm-hmm. But I have heard from other playwrights on the show that it is a challenge. It
depends a lot on your style as a writer. For me, it's harder to go the long way and to write long form, because then you get a lot more into character development, and you have to almost map it out ahead of time. This one, it's kind of fairly quick, and I can almost visualize it all in my head and keep the story organized. Okay, here we go. So it's definitely a challenge, and I appreciate Playwrights Roundtable for giving me this chance, and the other people in the community that experiment in the short play format. It is difficult to get original work developed and put up on stage. It's difficult for audiences to accept it. They usually go with the things they know, which is why you see all the same names and the same writers come up year after year in some of the major performing houses and the theater companies locally. It's great because the audiences come out and they support the theater, and we love that, but at the same time they have to find that balance between doing the old established works that people love and then finding that new work that becomes established that people will love from here on out. So in 10 or 20 years, there's a new standard that all the playhouses are doing around the country.
Right. So actually, that's another question I wanted to ask. Based on where you were saying these can go on around the country, where are some other opportunities that you can see a one-act play? I mean, usually you go for a full theatrical production, so where are some other opportunities that someone who wants to just get into this small format, where else can they go?
Well, I know that one of our other playwrights, Stephen Miller, he has a piece in the series as well. He has a piece that is currently in a festival in New York. And I think he's had pieces, that have been done all across the country. And there are a lot of theater communities that do have these short play festivals. It's good exercise for the actors, good for the directors, and great for the playwrights, especially that he's been able, from, being in Central Florida, being able to get his work produced off Broadway is, that's fantastic. So you can find, usually on different playwright groups online, I think that's where he, saw this opportunity. So, and, he'd definitely be the one to ask about that.
Yeah, you have to look around. There's some, scan the website, scan the internet, and you can perhaps find some things. I submitted probably to the Humana Festival in Louisville, and it was not selected, but at least I felt good the fact that I turned it in. So, and maybe I'll write another one that I'll feel it turns in for the national playwright contest. Humana is probably one of the biggest ones in the United States.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, and they do take short 10 minutes, one acts, and full lengths. So they do quite a selection, but they only pick 4 a year from all the ones that they get turned in. So it's tough, but I felt good at least that I turned it in and had a shot at it.
Well, Michael, as always, it's great to have you here, and I'm glad to see that you're still with Playwrights and still keeping that work going. That's wonderful. And Nicole, as always, it's great to talk to you. And I hope that you will join us again soon for another one-act play produced by Playwrights Roundtable. We hope to see you again soon. Take care.
Playwrights Roundtable provides opportunities for authors to have their work read by professional actors. Members of Playwrights Roundtable have seen their works go from cold readings to workshop productions and on to successful full productions. If you love the craft, Playwrights Roundtable is the place. For more information, contact Playwrights Roundtable at 407-788-8468 or check out the website www.playwrightsroundtable.org.